All right, buckle up, folks, because today we're diving headfirst into the crazy competitive world of mobile gaming.
Yeah, it's a jungle out there.
It really is, and we're talking about a company that managed to rack up a mind-blowing 100 million downloads.
100 million.
You heard that right, 100 million downloads.
Not easy.
No, not easy at all, especially in that space. So we're talking about Omlet Arcade and how they carved their path to success.
And when you think about it, back in 2016, when they were just starting out, they were going up against some seriously big players.
David versus Goliath, mobile gaming edition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no.
But they managed to break through the noise and build a platform that connects millions of gamers around the world. It's a pretty wild story.
And we've got the inside scoop to guide our deep dive today because we're tapping into the first-hand account of TUN-HAO.
He was there from the very beginning, even when the company looked a lot different than it does now.
That's right. Before it was Omlet Arcade, they were actually called Omlet Chat, trying to make their mark as a privacy-focused messaging app.
A noble idea for sure.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine, it was a tough nut to crack.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a crowded market. Everyone's already got their favorite messaging app. It's like trying to reinvent the wheel, or like you
A
said.
jungle.
So how did they pivot from messaging to gaming? What sparked that evolution?
Well, they noticed something interesting. Gamers were already using Omlet Chat to connect with each other. It was like a light bulb moment for them. They were like, hold on, maybe we're onto something here.
Not about a happy accident, right?
Totally. Sometimes the best opportunities are the ones you never plan for. They realized instead of trying to out-message the big guys, they could tap into this passionate community that was already organically forming around their app.
So they shifted gears, focused on the gamers, and then boom, enter Pokemon Go, the game that took the world by storm.
It was a cultural phenomenon.
It really was. Everyone was out there catching Pokemon. It was like the whole world was playing. And more importantly, they were looking for ways to connect with other players.
And that's where Omlet Arcade saw their opening.
They didn't just walk through that door, they sprinted through it, they went all in on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, they went all in.
Imagine this. You're searching for, say, Pokemon Go Chat on the App Store, and bam! Right there at the top is Omlet Arcade. They even renamed the app for a while to Pokemon Go Chat. Talk about a bold move.
It was gutsy, for sure. But you know what? It worked. And it wasn't just the name change. They really nailed their App Store optimization, making sure they were in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, it's like SEO for the App Store.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about making sure your app pops up. When people are searching for something specific, they used relevant keywords, eye-catching screenshots. They even chose a less competitive app category. They were playing the game and playing it smart.
So a little bit of luck, a lot of strategy. They were hitting their stride, but they were still a young company. How did they manage to keep those early users engaged? Because as we know, downloads are one thing, but keeping people coming back for more, that's the real challenge.
It's the name of the game, and honestly, they had to get creative.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, picture this. They were creating fake live streams. That's right. They had their team members populating these early streams, interacting with real users, making it seem like the party was already started.
Wow, talk about dedication.
They were hustling. They knew they had to do something to create a buzz, to make it seem like Omlet Arcade was the place to be for gamers.
So they faked it till they made it.
In a way, yeah. It was a gamble, but it paid off, at least initially. It gave them the momentum they needed to start building a real community.
But you can't fake it forever, right? At some
Yeah.
point, you have to deliver the goods.
You got it, and that's where things got really interesting for Omlet Arcade.
So they'd hitch their wagon to the Pokemon Go craze. 1 million users. Not too shabby, but then what?
Right, the hype dies down, people move on. How do you turn those early birds into regulars, the ones who keep coming back for more?
It's like throwing a party. Anyone can send out invitations, but how do you make it the hottest ticket in town week after week?
User retention, that's the million-dollar question. For any app, especially in the gaming world, you need people hooked.
And Omelette was struggling with that early on, right? They had those low retention rates, people were checking out the app, but not sticking around.
They were, and they knew they had to figure out why, what were people missing. So they started experimenting, trying to figure out what their users really wanted.
What was the magic formula?
It wasn't just one thing, but 2 features really changed the game for them.
All right, lay it on me. What were these game changers?
First, they tapped into the power of Facebook gaming groups. Brilliant move, if you ask me.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So you've got these existing communities on Facebook, right? Passionate gamers already gathering in these groups, talking about games, sharing strategies, the whole 9 yards.
Makes sense. Find your people where they already are.
Exactly. And Omelette Arcade saw an opportunity. Instead of trying to build their community from scratch, they integrated directly with these Facebook groups.
Like setting up shop right next to a busy subway station.
Got it, guaranteed foot traffic.
Yeah.
But they didn't just show up empty-handed. They offered something these groups desperately needed: the ability to live stream gameplay directly to their Facebook group.
Ah, so they were solving a real problem.
A big one. Before that, it was a clunky process. Now, with Omelette Arcade, it was seamless. You could go live, share your gameplay with your buddies, all in one place.
So, win-win for everyone. Facebook gaming groups get this awesome new feature. Omelette Arcade gets a massive influx of engaged users. Everybody's happy.
Pretty much. And this move was especially huge for them in Southeast Asia, where Facebook gaming groups were, and still are, massively popular.
Smart. Tap into those existing communities. So that was game changer number one. What about the second?
Minecraft multiplayer mode, specifically designed to make life easier for Minecraft players.
Minecraft. My nieces and nephews are obsessed. Can't get enough of it.
It's a global phenomenon, and Omelette recognized that connecting with friends in Minecraft, especially on mobile, could be a bit of a pain.
Yeah, trying to get everyone on the same server, all that technical stuff, it can be a headache.
Totally. So Omelette came up with a solution. They created a feature that let players seamlessly join each other's Minecraft games, all within the Omelette Arcade app. No more messing around with server IPs or anything like that.
Talk about user-friendly.
Exactly. They made it dead simple. And here's the kicker. They integrated this with their live streaming functionality. So imagine this. You're watching your favorite Minecraft streamer, and you can jump right into their game with a single click.
Whoa, that's next level interactive. They were really building a bridge between viewers and streamers, so Facebook gaming groups, Minecraft multiplayer mode, those are the big ones. But they were also doing a lot behind the scenes, right? Like with their App Store optimization, ASO.
Absolutely. They were constantly tweaking and refining their approach, testing different keywords, descriptions, screenshots, all that good stuff.
So it's all about understanding what makes people tick, what makes them click that download button.
You got it. And they were also very strategic about trying to get featured on the app stores, both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
Which is huge, right? It's like winning the lottery for app developers. Suddenly, millions of people are seeing your app front and center.
It's a game changer for sure. It can lead to a massive spike in downloads. And for a company like Omelette that was still growing, that kind of exposure was invaluable.
So they've got these great features. They're figuring out the ASO game. Things seem to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's not all smooth sailing from here.
You'd be right, because with success comes a whole new set of challenges.
Ooh, cliffhanger. What kind of challenges are we talking about here? Because it sounds like Omelet's got the magic touch.
Well, you know what they say, more money, more problems.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
And in Omelette's case, a lot more money. They managed to secure a whopping $20 million in Series A funding.
Wow, 20 million. That's a serious chunk of change. That's got to feel pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge validation for any startup, but
There's always a but.
there's always a but, especially when you're talking about that kind of investment. Suddenly the stakes are higher, the pressure's on, and everyone's watching your every move.
It's like going from playing in the local pub to headlining a stadium tour. You better bring your A game.
Exactly. And Omelette had some ambitious goals to hit. They needed to scale and fast, which meant expanding their team across multiple locations.
So no more scrappy startup working out of a garage?
Not quite. They had offices in the U.S., Taiwan, Beijing, even Thailand. Talk about a global operation.
That's a lot to manage. Different time zones, different cultures. How did they handle it all?
It was a learning curve, to say the least, and, you was pretty upfront about the challenges they faced. Trying to maintain a cohesive company culture with teams spread out all over the world, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it's tough enough trying to get everyone on the same page when you're all in the same room.
All right. Now imagine trying to do that with a team that's spread across multiple continents. It was a recipe for miscommunication and misunderstandings.
And probably a few too many late-night video calls.
Oh, I'm sure. And to make matters even more interesting, they had some internal disagreements about the direction of the company. Some folks wanted to double down on gaming, while others saw potential in branching out into other areas. It created some tension within the team.
A fork in the road. Which way to go? Did this impact the app itself?
Do you remember those acquisition offers I mentioned?
Yeah, someone wanted to buy them out.
Twice, actually, but both times. The offers were more about acquiring Omelette's talented team than their actual platform. Can you imagine that? Pouring your heart and soul into building something, only to have someone say, we'll take your engineers, but the product's not really what we're after.
Ouch. That's gotta sting. I imagine that would cause some friction within the team, some soul searching. What did they do?
They took a deep breath and said, thanks, but no thanks. They turned down the offers, which was a gutsy move. They were determined to make their own destiny, but that meant navigating those internal disagreements, figuring out how to move forward as a united front.
And remember, they're still a relatively young company at this point, trying to find their footing in a rapidly changing industry.
Which brings us to what I think is one of the most fascinating parts of Omelette Arcade's story, their decision to embrace Web 3.0.
Web 3.0, okay, for those of us who aren't fluent in tech speak, break that down for me.
Think blockchain, NFTs, the metaverse, all that good stuff. It's essentially the next evolution of the internet. And Omelette, they didn't just dip their toes in the water, they dove right in head first.
So they were early adopters. They saw the potential before a lot of other companies in the gaming space.
They were like, this is the future and we want to be a part of it. They started experimenting with blockchain technology, trying to figure out how to integrate it into their platform in a way that made sense for their users.
And this was back in, what, 2022, when the hype around NFTs was at its peak.
Exactly. But Omelette didn't just want to jump on the bandwagon. They genuinely believed in the potential of this technology to empower both gamers and content creators. They were thinking long term.
Which is refreshing because there was a lot of, let's call it opportunism around NFTs at that time.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people trying to make a quick buck. But Omelette, they were trying to build something meaningful, something that would enhance the gaming experience for their users.
So how did they actually use this technology? Give me some concrete examples.
Well, they started with their live stream tipping feature. They called it the buff system. Streamers could create and sell their own unique NFTs, like digital collectibles, and viewers could buy them using cryptocurrency.
So instead of just tipping $1 or $2, you could buy a one-of-a-kind digital item from your favorite streamer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. Streamers loved it because it gave them a new way to monetize their content and connect with their fans. And viewers loved it because they could own a piece of their favorite streamer's world, something that had real value.
And potentially some of those NFTs could go up in value. It's like investing in your favorite artist or musician.
Exactly. It was a win-win.
Yeah.
And Omelette didn't stop there. They were constantly experimenting with new ways to use blockchain. They even turned their app into a multi-chain wallet so users could store and manage different types of cryptocurrency all in one place.
They were really trying to make the world of Web 3.0 more accessible to everyday gamers. Did it pay off?
That's the million-dollar question. And unfortunately, use account doesn't give us the full picture. The mobile gaming landscape is constantly evolving. New trends emerge. Old ones fade away. It's tough to stay ahead of the curve.
It's like trying to predict the weather. Things change quickly.
Exactly. But here's the thing about Omelette Arcade. Throughout their journey, from those early days as a messaging app to their deep dive into Web 3.0, they've consistently demonstrated a willingness to adapt, to embrace new ideas, and to push the boundaries of what's possible in the world of mobile gaming.
And that's what makes their story so inspiring. They had their share of setbacks, their fair share of critics, but they never gave up on their vision. They kept iterating, kept experimenting, and ultimately, they built a platform that connects millions of gamers worldwide. So as you navigate the ever-evolving world of both gaming and entrepreneurship, remember that the only surefire way to fail is to stop trying, to stop innovating, keep that Omelette Arcade spirit alive, embrace the unknown, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one inspiring us with your story someday.